Never should have come here.
Joke's on you.
That
That
was
was the intro.
the intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the XVE Podcast. We got as Seth just said, a shitful episode to talk about here. This is the big one we've been talking about the past couple of weeks. So, just to go ahead and run things down for you, I'm your host Kyle. I'm joined today by Shane, Seth, Jason, and our good friend Vinny. He's gonna be
good.
He's gonna be. Why'd you say it like that? He's gonna be talking about Call of Duty and all the other things coming out with us. So how you doing this October 24th, fellas? This Thursday evening. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm super hyped.
The air is fucking musky today. Let me tell you. Not just with hype, but with like shocker news.
With manliness.
With with massive amounts of testosterone.
That's mustiness.
Muskiness, yeah. Muskiness. Wait,
Mustardness.
mustardness.
Yeah, I was thinking mustard.
Ooh.
This is some mustard gas in here.
Speaking of mustard, we got a couple of games we're going to talk about today. Some of them are coming out on PC. First order of business in this long ass topic list we got here. We're going to be talking about Call of Duty. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which comes out tomorrow, October 25th. And
just like everything else.
Yeah, just like everything else we're going to be talking about today. And yeah, it's Call of Duty. I mean, there's not really much more to say than that, but how hyped are you guys for it?
Very.
I was, but I'm still on my I don't want to support Blizzard bullshit, and it's on the Battle.net launcher on PC, so.
And I'm also really excited, but at the same time, there's too many things in general coming out. I can't afford.
Yeah, too many things are happening at once for me to be just specifically focused on Call of Duty right now. But out of all the Call of Duties in recent years, this is definitely the most promising looking.
I'm
Oh,
hoping this one
100%.
stays relevant for long enough that eventually I can circle back around to it, but.
Yeah. I think their re-edition of Captain Price brings back a certain kind of fan base, specifically like us who crave for the days of Call of Duty 4 again, you know, on Xbox 360.
The only thing I'm worried about is the whole new COD every 2 years thing. They just tend not to stick long enough for me to.
Yeah. Yeah, Call of Duty is just
Get
as
into
bad
them.
as like the new phones these days. Fucking you invest in this purchase. Though the price difference obviously is very much there between a phone and a fucking
It's still, you
video
feel like
game.
you have to buy a new one every year.
Yeah,
It's pretty ridiculous.
you see it and you're like, oh well, time to get the next one. So hopefully
I-
there's some longevity, I guess would be the best way to put it, to this one.
I'm thinking there will be, just because of the maps are free, all that shit that they're supposed to do.
Yeah, the maps are gonna be like free according to them.
No loot boxes.
No loot
Yeah,
boxes.
Supposedly.
Uh, Vinny ran it down for us, the leveling system that they're going to be doing this time. There's no prestige. I guess we found this out recently. There is absolutely no prestige whatsoever. There
You
is
hit
a
max level and open up the battle pass.
Yeah, that's really good summary actually. So from what was described to us earlier, that is basically just you hit max level, and instead of resetting back to 1 but having like a tier rank up on your like skill rank in general, you would be gaining. Is it gonna give weapon skins? I'm assuming like you'll get like extra weapon skins for being it, or extra like character models. Because I know they started letting you customize your character in the Call of Duty games. Like, I want to know like what all gets added in with that battle pass as you progress in it, because it's got to be something more than just, oh, you keep ranking up again and have to start your weapons over or whatever. You'd think it'd be more this time.
I hope so. I mean, they need to give something to like really keep people interested.
Yeah. Vinny, was there any indicator of that at all, or
He's dead.
he's dead? Okay, well, I kind of, it's okay. I expected this.
Wait, what?
No, Vinny's like AFK or something. But
Oh,
to keep things rolling, so if there is something like that, it'll be a really cool new way to change that. I think they should do that, like make it so that we get like extra camos or something, because like there's not a whole lot more they can do other than that. Make you gain tiers of unlockable things to make your character look more badass to show off that you got this rank. I mean, other than that, what did you used to get in the old games? Just a little symbol in the top left corner. That was like it. It was like whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you'd get some like icons or background thingies for when you kill people and that dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But there's nothing really huge.
So
So
to move on to another thing, with
and
the
another thing.
and by the way, no, but so the story mode, they're really putting a lot of emphasis on the story again this time too.
It's supposed to be gritty and realistic, I think is what it was.
Yeah, there's been a lot of controversy behind it, and I think it's because they're going again for that No Russian vibe, just because No Russian was so like controversial back in the day. And to anyone who doesn't know, No Russian was the name of a level in Modern Warfare 2 where you like commit mass murder in an airport with a
Yep.
bunch of Russians. And that really, pissed off a lot of people when it came out. There's actually a setting that was like you can turn this level off or skip it completely if you wish. And
it's because you can never get away with it today.
yeah, I feel like whatever it's going to do is going to be nowhere near as like whoa as that was. Sure, it'll
Yeah.
probably be pretty intense and like war is hell is basically what they're going to try to show us here again, but like I don't think it's going to be anywhere as bad as literally mass murdering a airport with an LMG.
But we don't know. They might try.
Did you guys play the beta?
No,
No.
you did though. Well, how
Yeah.
does the game feel?
The game feels great. Like I was explaining to Shane, and I don't know if it's like how I'm gonna explain it is understand, but it's like you can feel the shot with like the actual recoil of the guns and everything. It's a little more realistic than it has passed, and with the new game mode that they have, Ground War, it's 32 versus 32, and it's a lot more battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually one of the game modes I'm most excited for because of the like scope of the battlefields having
Right.
that many people on it. And when you say more realistic with the gunplay, does it still feel like older Call of Duty and it's kind of arcadey, or is it like does it feel heavier? Is the better way to
It
describe
feels
it?
heavier, yes.
Okay.
Like the guns feel heavier. Like it's more of a realistic feel to it. Um, and I mean, speaking of realistic, they also have another game mode, realist mode, where you
Oh, yeah.
have no HUD or anything. Like you get no hit marks, you get no. It
Yeah.
shows no.
That's what I'm interested
It,
in. That and two, I think it's 2v2. Is that what I got?
it's still normal, like team deathmatch. I think it's
Okay.
It reminds me of hardcore, but more hardcore.
exactly. You can't.
Hardcore.
That's awesome.
You cannot. You literally cannot tell if you've killed someone unless you physically. Strike.
Because hardcore was always my favorite game mode anyway.
And
Sounds like
another
Tarkov.
another thing with that,
Stop trying to get us talk off.
it kind of plays like a CS where what gun you have. If you get shot in the head once, you're dead.
Huh. As it should be. I mean, a lot of games these days don't follow
Right.
that, which is
I'm
disappointing.
I'm really glad that COD is trying to step on Battlefield's toes because I feel like we've been in this era of COD makes the best deathmatchy type stuff and Battlefield does the big open world shit and it started to get stale. And I feel like competition might help both of these game companies like
Yeah,
really
Well,
step it up and do
I
something
agree.
new.
another thing is I feel like Call of Duty has always fast pacey, kind of not really
Mhm.
realistic shooting game to where
It was always the
like
it was always the oh, I can hop in and do a couple matches of COD before I have to go to work or something. Like there's no time investment. Whereas Battlefield was like, okay, I gotta sit down, make sure I have everything so I can do this Battlefield match because it could last like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just happy they're moving to a battle pass system. I think battle passes are the future, and loot boxes are just
I
right. But
annoying.
the thing I like about Battle Pass Call of Duty is it's one that you don't have to pay for. I mean, and a lot of
Oh
the
wait, you don't
games,
pay for it?
no, you don't pay for it,
I did not know
and
that.
that's kind of what draws me away from Battle Pass.
I'm sure
I
there'll be
don't
an
feel
option to
like
pay for levels, but
I just don't feel like they're worth paying the money for some.
I've actually always thought the opposite. Most battle passes I've dealt with, not all of them. The Apex Legend one notoriously is really bad, but a lot of them I feel like they are worth the money.
The Red Dead
$10.
Redemption one is because me and Kyle got to 70 on that within what 2 days.
Yeah.
The only
It's
Battle
super
Pass
easy.
that I've liked has
Has been which one? Your mic cut out.
been Dauntless.
Dauntless is good. Smites is really good.
Smites. Okay, I'll give it to you. Smites was good.
Especially because
Spice
of
is
Smites,
fun.
they just added 60 more levels to get even more shit. And it's not expensive. That's the big thing. Pricing matters. So like 120 level battle pass with 70 plus tangible rewards is worth $10. But like say and Dauntless is worth that. But like Apex's is like $20 and you half the time you won't even max it out because it requires way too much playtime.
Yeah.
That's what matters
I've
in a
only
battle
ever
pass.
spent money on one singular battle pass, and it's been the Red Dead Redemption 2 one. And the amount of rewards ratio to how much I paid for was so much more than I could have ever expected that I think it was a
Especially for
worthwhile
who it is.
purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought we was gonna get ripped off,
It's
honestly.
definitely a lot better than just buying loot boxes and praying to get something you want.
Yeah, because you're
Whereas you can
guaranteed.
also the feeling of I mean, you're paying for it, but the feeling of earning it, of like playing enough to get it, is really nice.
Yeah, it feels really good. I agree.
And another thing, back to Call of Duty, I think like in the alpha, they had like 2v2 duels. I think they're bringing that in as an actual game mode. Well,
Yeah,
They
I
should
heard about that.
they should give that a competitive thing. I bet
yeah, that
that'll
was,
hit off really heavy.
Well, Call of Duty and like Halo 5 still have MLG circuits. Like old ass fucking good old MLG fucking still run
Speaking
those two
speaking
games.
of MLG, uh, we didn't talk about this last week when we should have because I think it happened last week. But the MLG Center in Columbus, Ohio, which was the first one, shut down last week.
Aw.
Oh shit!
Yep.
I think I've been to that one too.
A lot of, and it was really sad because I was seeing a lot about it on Twitter. Obviously, we're from Ohio, so it makes me sad, even more sad, because I like when we have cool stuff like that.
Well,
But
cutting that shit. I don't want nowhere know where I'm living.
yeah, okay. Ohio's a big state, bitch.
Anyways, continue.
It docks the fuck out of you. No, but like seeing a lot of people on Twitter, like a lot of old COD pros and Halo pros saying that's where they got their start. That was like the beginning of their professional careers. Is like kind of heartwarming considering, you know, uh,
Uh,
I love that shit. Like those stories of like when video games became more than just video games. You know what I mean? And MLG started that. And now
yeah.
they're closing down because they're not getting enough viewers. Kind of sucks. It's because
Oops.
things like CS:GO, uh, Fortnite, and shit like that.
For
Uh, all of that stuff isn't part of MLG. MLG just does, I think, COD and Halo now.
Yeah. Yeah, they I'm sorry, but they fucked up over the years. Back when they were the only two big things, I could see their plan being like, "Oh, this is it. This is all we're doing." But as it's gone on and esports has become a full-on like thing across multiple brands and game types, they should have expanded, and they never did.
Yeah, they definitely should have.
Um so back to the campaign. What do you guys think about Captain Price being in it? Do you think this is going to be their way to try to get everybody to come back to this game? It as a like, do you think they're just shooing it in, or do you think that they actually have made a like interesting story here and found a way to bring him back?
It's gonna tear at your heart.
While I think, while I hope, I mean, they have good plans for the story, I do kind of think it might have been well, if we put price in it, people will buy it.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. I think they have the potential to make good stories. We've seen Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. Both those had like the craziest fucking campaigns in the entire series, which is really mind-blowing when you think about it, because those are the two games that veered off into multiplayer focus. Like 3 was
Mhm.
the last one that was really like about the story. And then as soon as they
I
jumped to Modern Warfare, it was like after that.
I don't think. I think with 4, I think they still kept the single player so good because it was their first time trying multiplayer focus, so they kind of needed a fallback plan. But
I
Modern
think
Warfare 2, that one blows me away that the story was so good.
what I think they're gonna do with this campaign is this is I think this will be a way to have like an ending for Bryce.
Like a proper sign off, yeah, I could see that. Because he
Mhm.
kind of just
The-
did he. Okay,
I mean,
story
yeah, I
spoilers
mean,
ahead
we haven't.
for Call of Duty, but did he fucking die in Modern Warfare 3? I feel like he did. I think I think Soap
I
died
don't
in
remember.
Modern Warfare
Yeah,
3.
yeah,
yeah,
I don't
I don't.
think he
I,
died. I think they just kind of retired him without really saying
yeah.
anything.
Well, I know he got wounded real bad.
Yeah, okay. Um yeah, cuz that's right, cuz he's the one who kills Makarov or whatever the hell his name
spoilers.
is. I said spoilers ahead, you fuck.
He did give a spoiler warning.
Also, you're not even going to play these games, so what do you care?
Yeah, I know. I stopped playing Call of Duty with World at War.
Yeah, we know Shane done
That
playing
was a
Paragon
long
and
time
I.
ago.
Mm.
Okay, so is there any gun you want to see make a return in the multiplayer from other Call of Duties? Because obviously
The
there's
Scar.
damn, without hesitation, the Scar.
P90.
That's what I said. Get off my back.
Oh,
All
And the
right.
intervention.
Oh
The
god.
javelin.
Yes.
I do
Fucking
know one gun that
Jason.
is in the game that I'm very excited about.
What's
Is it
that?
the intervention?
The MP5.
Yeah. That was the one I
Well, the
wanted.
MP5 has to be in every game. It's like a requirement,
It
right?
wasn't in Modern Warfare 2, I'm pretty sure. Oh yes, it was. Never mind. It was the shitty one, the little one with the like. It doesn't have the stock on the back. It has the
Yeah.
foregrip. Yeah, that was the version MP5K. That's what it
Yeah,
was called.
it was like the MP5 Uzi
Yeah.
edition.
As much as I hated the gun being used against me, I'd like to see the ump too.
Oh, dude, I use the MP45 religiously in Call of Duty, in Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, so I think if there was any one gun that I could see, then if the MP5 is already in, it'd be the ACR. I like the ACR.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want it to get to like these futuristic guns again. I hate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the most
if I
futuristic I want is the F2000. That'd be nice.
if I want futuristic stuff, I'll play Halo.
Planet Side 2.
Planet Side 2.
Excuse me? Who just casually brings up Planet Side 2?
Vinny just did, I guess. Dude, Vanu for life. Anyways,
You said futuristic, right?
on the most desired games from this week list, I think I already know the answer, but where does Call of Duty rank? Is it the least desired for you guys? Or the most?
Nah, bruh.
It's Vinny's most, I'm gonna assume.
Probably my least.
Yeah.
Wait, what all comes out this week?
Okay, we got Modern Warfare, Medieval, and Outer Worlds.
Oh, definitely the least.
Yeah, it's
then.
definitely at least.
Shut up, Shane. We already knew that answer.
But
Hey,
you don't know,
Shane,
man.
Shane, if you could keep it down, we already know that answer. I'm just. Okay, so that's Call of Duty. It comes out tomorrow. It's 175 gigs. Fuck you, Activision.
It's
Holy
fucking
fucking
huge.
god. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a really good game, and I hope everybody enjoys it. So on to the next one. Let's talk about Medieval, guys.
Dude, I love medieval times.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's almost as great as our sponsor. Wait, we don't have any sponsors.
We don't have one.
Fuck. So Medieval, the remake
That'd
is
have been a
coming
good
out.
segue if it wasn't useless.
I know. Dude, we're the masters of segues. One of these days, it'll be worth it. And speaking of segues, oh wait, I don't have anything to segue into. So Medieval comes out on PS4 tomorrow, and I could not think of a more perfect October game, just because of the entire
I
background
could.
of it.
I could.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we'll
no.
get to that on the day. We have to talk about that one literally the day that it comes out, Shane. So you can hold for one more week. That's all we got is one more week. I'm off that day, by the way. Yes.
You can remember your Paragon on Day of the Dead, Jane.
Yeah. Yeah. We get it, Shane. Your game's dead. Okay, you don't have to come at us with it. But Medieval comes out tomorrow as well. All three of these tomorrow. So crazy. It
Yeah, I'm
is.
getting none of them.
It is a full remake visually. Level wise, it's 1-to-1, but it is a full remake in the same vein as Spyro and Crash Bandicoot as of the original Medieval on the PS1.
Sony be hitting up those remakes. Someone else needs to start hitting those.
I mean, Sony's really going hard and just fucking dropping them like bombs left and right. I know, but there's a point where you just gotta realize that, like, we gotta get Siphon Filter eventually, right? Like, can I name drop that right now? Can it be Siphon Filter?
I hope so, man.
I want Siphon Filter so bad.
Me too.
Oh shit. So with Medieval though, I gotta say, when they first announced it, it was one of the most random, but I was very happy. I remember that PSX very well. That was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. Because they didn't do it last year, so Had to be 2017, but fucking he just whips.
Was it?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because they didn't do one last year, and he had the shirt on underneath. He's like, Sean Layden was like, you know me, I like to wear my shirts, and he fucking, bam, there it was,
Bam.
medieval shirt,
Yep.
and I shouted from the rooftops. Um, but yeah, the game is basically a one-to-one recreation. It's just a visual remake, but I think that doesn't take away from its charm, especially because it definitely didn't with Crash and Spyro. The Spyro remastered trilogy is like one of my favorite things to have come out in recent years. It is so
Also,
good.
I'm excited
As
to
much-
try it from the Humble
as
Bundle.
much as this game is for medieval fans, it's also nice to think about all the people that have never got to play it before that'll finally get to play it.
Yeah, they see this weird game coming out on PS4 called Medieval, and it's got these amazing visuals, this hilarious story, and
It's the same thing that happened to us on the original PlayStation.
yeah, it's like it's a whole new generation gets to experience it. A lot of people say that these generations won't buy it, but I think a lot of people will. I think they'll see a new game and be like, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's try this."
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be honest, out of all the remakes so far, I never played the original Medieval, so this will actually be the first time I ever played it. I've known what it is, I just never.
The only thing I don't like about
So
this
good.
release, and this is the main thing on this topic I wanted to talk about, is the fact that it's only the first game and not the first and the second. Be that as it
Yeah.
may, for the price they are giving it to you for, do you think it's a fair price considering it's the one game, or do you think it should have been
It-
cheaper because it's the one game?
It's only 40, right?
It's actually only 30.
It's only 30. Yeah.
I think,
I mean,
yeah, I think that's
60, it would have been 60 for two, so 30 for one seems fair to me.
not necessarily. They came out with all the Crash games and Spyro for how much were they? I
Both of
don't
those were
actually know.
$40.
Yeah,
Mm.
and they had 3 each, right?
Yep.
Or yeah,
So you also got to look at it though. Medieval's a way longer game than any of the. I mean,
Yes.
together, Spyro and Crash are longer if you put all three games together. But each individual one of those games can be finished in like 4 hours easy. Whereas Medieval, I think, takes at least 10. Like even if you're going fast and know where everything's at.
It's about how long it took me to finish it, like, uh, on the PSP versions. So
Yeah. So other
it
than
seems
that,
fair to me.
I'm looking forward to it. I think out of all of the remakes, this one is one of my most desired. But with that being said, let's play a game.
oh boy.
Okay,
Name
we like games.
your two most desired PlayStation 1 remakes for the PlayStation 4.
Oh, easy for one.
Don't say it.
Oh, come
If you
on.
steal my answer, I swear to God, Shane.
Someone's gonna steal someone's answer. I already know.
One of
Nice,
you
what
is
is
gonna
it?
say Croc.
Mine's gonna be Gex.
What's your second one?
I say I don't have a second one yet. I have to think for a second. Actually, no. You know what? The Vigilante 8. Actually, I had a lot of hours put into that.
Whoa, that's a fucking.
Okay, he didn't
I
steal
had
both
a
my answers.
lot of hours put into that, like ridiculous amounts.
Seth, we might have the same answer here, at least one of them.
What is it?
Mine are Legend of Dragoon and Tiny Tank.
Nope. What up?
Nice. What are yours?
Gex and Final Fantasy Tactics.
Ooh, okay. Jason, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Croc and Brave Fencer Musashi.
Yeah. I knew
I
someone
knew
was gonna say Croc.
I also knew someone, Jason, was gonna say Brave Fencer Musashi.
Because
I mean,
when
we're
it comes
about
to the
due
PlayStation,
for.
that's
Yeah,
all I
dude.
talk about, bro.
Fucking that game is so good though. Like it's a very good game, and it's so under like it's like swept under the pillow. Not low enough to be swept under the rug because it's got a fan base, but swept under the pillow.
Also, second week in a row, I've got to mention Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yay yay.
Because we're
Hey,
gonna talk about Tactics
surprisingly-
Advance last week.
we could talk about something else, Final Fantasy, but we might be here for hours because we've been playing it a lot.
I know I've been double dipping into MMOs for all of our
Barely.
listeners. Fuck you. I have.
Actually, I also have a second that would be interesting. I think would be
Oh,
What's that?
a remaster. Jade Cocoon.
oh yeah,
You motherfucker! You in that game?
dude.
Dude, what?
I want. What about PS2 remakes? Since the PS5 is coming out, what
Oh.
PS2 games would you want to see remade?
Oh man.
2 of them.
No, but Jade Cocoon would be awesome. I'm just messing with you. It's just that game. Remember
I
when
just
when I
like
first
the
fucking-
combination system.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very
Of the
interesting
monsters.
JRPG, but fucking the very first time I tried it, I was like, what in the goddamn hell is this?
It looks awful.
But that's a good reason for it to get remastered, so there you go. Because it was like one of the earliest PlayStation 1 games, so they need to do it again. I'm gonna
You're
say
gonna hate
something.
me for the PS2 one.
Is it Brave Fencer Musashi?
No.
Oh. Jade Cocoon 2?
I'll wait till my turn. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna say a weird one for PlayStation 2. I want Shinobi remastered. Like, that Shinobi, the really fucking hard game, the one that was like, Xbox people got Ninja Gaiden, PlayStation people got Shinobi. I want Shinobi back, please, Shinobi.
I missed Ninja Gaiden.
And then my answer, it's got to be Silent Hill 2. Even though it never happened, I want Silent Hill 2 to be remade so bad.
That's actually a good one though, because it kind of needs it.
What would yours be?
Probably. Like, are we talking like full ground up remake?
Yeah,
Like
literally,
visual
like
overhaul?
visual, shit. Like they even changed some stuff in the game itself.
I would like to see the God of War trilogy, the first 3.
Ah, that'd be pretty sick.
Could you imagine
Nice.
a trilogy and a current God of War graphics
Especially
engine?
because after the new one sold so well,
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be an actual good decision. And then, like, there's a lot of weird games that I would like to see come back, like the Armored Core games. Having a remake to some of those would be
Damn, that would have been
like
well.
really good. Or
Armored
any
Core
of
would be
the-
so good.
any of the old low res ass JRPGs that were on there.
Dude,
that
people
haven't
keep
got
saying
remakes yet.
people keep saying they want Demon Souls to be remastered. Fuck all that from
Yeah.
software. Make Evergrace. Remake
God,
Evergrace.
oh God.
Evergreen? I actually don't know what that is.
It is a PS2 launch title, and it was the very first game that FromSoft made after Kingsfield. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that.
Oh,
Citation needed. I'm pretty sure it is though.
can we get GTA Vice City and the GTA 5 engine with
If you say not to quote you, then proceed to say, hey, quote.
No, I said don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Citation needed, which means like
Oh, I got it.
yeah.
I'm just,
But yeah, dude, could you imagine GTA Online in Vice City, like with the 80s aesthetic?
Oh, I would love that so much. Vice City's gotta be one of my favorite games from that era. So seeing that like remade would be just the best. I'm
Vice
really
City's
hoping.
my favorite Grand Theft Auto.
I'm really hoping GTA 6 is in Vice City. Or something. Six
I want them
six
to
in
do
Roman
another-
numerals is VI. It's gotta be Vice City. VI. Do it.
I want them to do another flashback GTA that's not in like current times.
Yeah. I think I think the historical games where they go back in time, like 3, a lot of people don't know this, but 3 takes place in the 90s, like, you know, so it's got that like gruff
Mm-hmm.
just I think it's less of an aesthetic in 3 and more of like it was the design they had to go with because of how early the technology of the PS2 was. But I think it fit it really well. 4 has a very like monotone, like grayed out look to it. It's also like very like drab and realistic in a way that like it's gloomy because fucking Nico Bellic is depressed and he's Russian, so they just made everything look like Russia, but in Liberty City
Yeah,
instead.
everything was super gloomy in that shit.
Or he's not Russian, he's whatever he is, Bulgarian or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But and then 5 was very colorful and bright. I mean, even the characters' personalities, like where they start at in 5, was very like fitting to who they were. So they are really good at nailing those. They just need to bring that back.
I just like that, like, I just like the other aesthetics they do, where, like, Vice City had the real 80s aesthetic, and then San Andreas was, you felt like it was the ghetto.
Dude,
Like,
San Andreas literally
you were
was
coming
like
up from nothing.
if you were playing the movie Boys in the Hood starring Ice Cube. That's
Mhm.
literally what that was. Fucking San Andreas was really good about that. But we veered off topic pretty fucking far. So we'll go back. I mean,
Would it
there's
be the XVE Podcast about veering completely off topic right now?
that's what the VE stands for, veering. Um, but yeah, that's really all we can say about Medieval, though. In truth, I mean, it's the same game, so it's not like we're learning
Also,
anything new.
Also, to counter Shane's point, I still think it's more Halloweeny than Luigi's Mansion is going to be.
Damn.
You literally
Ooh.
start the game as a skeleton in a graveyard. Luigi's Mansion, you're just a scared boy in a hotel.
Yeah, that's true. That it is more Halloween than Luigi's Mansion is. Sorry. And thus the silence.
Also, Luigi's. Neither of them are really horror games either. They kind of play with the
Just a spooky
comedic
aesthetic.
side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they both definitely do share in that.
I
But
don't know.
wanna
That
be
first one was
scary.
kind of terrifying.
what, the first Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, dude. Seeing Bowser at the end and his head fucking float. Are you kidding me?
Hey man,
That's
listen.
scary.
It was only scary if you were like a
were
preteen.
you like 6?
Yeah. I mean, I was, but it wasn't even scary to me. But by that point, I'd already finished Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare on PS1. So.
Oof.
So yeah, that's Medieval. I think that as a game series, it needs to have a new entry and not just to dick around with remakes. But a remake is a good start.
I feel like a remake is, and I feel like they're doing it on purpose too, with the only making one of them remake. I feel like it's a good way to test the waters for, can they make a new one? Can they remaster the sequel? Will people actually care?
Dude, I want them to so bad. The sequel wasn't received well back then either. Like, well, not as well. People bought it, but a lot of people thought that the change in setting was very weird and the way that the
Yeah.
game played out compared to the first one.
It's
But I
it's more
love
like
the second one so much. It's so cool.
it's more like uh it's not like Crash and Spyro where they have, I mean, Medieval has a fan base, but it's not nearly as massive as those two.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just playing it close to the chest to make sure they're not gonna lose more money than they make.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it gets bought a lot. Um, but we will just have to see. Okay. Now we talk
Best
about
game of the night.
now we talk about the big one. This is the one that, as a group of people here in this podcast, we are the most excited about. And that is Obsidian's brand new RPG, The Outer Worlds. It comes out tomorrow, technically tonight. I don't know if Call of Duty is playable tonight or if it's tomorrow as well.
Call of Duty was playable starting yesterday. I think if you pre-ordered like the special
Oh,
edition.
yeah, okay. Um, so yeah, Call of Duty is already playable.
I think.
But Outer Worlds drops tonight at 7 p.m. and it is
Which is in 36.
yeah, it's in like 30 minutes. So I'm a little hot and heavy right now.
So that means we got 30 minutes left of this podcast. No,
I'm really excited for it.
Sorry
I
to
really
interrupt.
want to play it, but Final Fantasy, man, it's just got me right now.
Fucking I'm going to keep playing Final Fantasy, but
Oh yeah.
this is like this is the one I've been waiting for since Fallout New Vegas. I could go on my passionate speech of why Fallout New Vegas is one of the greatest games ever made, even though it was a buggy pile of shit on release. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna save us a 45-minute monologue here. I'm just gonna run down what everybody needs to know. Obsidian, which is an RPG developer that is known for their top tier writing, has made a new RPG with Private Division and Microsoft, and it is a first person open world ish RPG in the same vein as Fallout New Vegas. And there is so much choice in this game that people's heads are exploding. Figuratively, not literally. Unless you shoot
I was
them
gonna
in the head.
say it would shock me with their games.
Yeah. There's a certain uniqueness to the way that they always do the choice in their games, and they are one of the few companies that make games, specifically RPGs, where the choice actually feels like it does something to the world. If you've ever played Alpha Protocol, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Holy shit, that game is crazy good, and everybody was like, fuck that game when it came out for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a really good one. Oh, go
Very
ahead.
excited for Outer Worlds, and I think one of the reasons I'm able to lightly be like, oh, I'll just play it when I get to it is because it's on Game Pass. So it's just
Yeah, that's the other cool
no
thing.
rush.
Microsoft now owns Obsidian, therefore it gets to be on Game Pass day one. So if you pay for Game Pass right now and you're like, well, fuck, what do I play? There's all these games here. Stop looking, go play Outer Worlds, because it is going to be one of the best games this year, guaranteed. It's already got good scores in the reviews. Medieval has too, by the way, to jump back on that really quick. And I think Call of Duty has been getting pretty good ones as well. So they're all
Yeah,
solid
a lot of
lineup.
streamers have been really selling Call of Duty as like the next thing they're going to definitely be playing.
Yeah, so. But when it comes to like big releases for this week, this is the one that like there's so much attention to detail. And one thing I'm excited for that nobody is talking about yet, but that's because it remains to be seen if it's going to be possible, but Obsidian loves to let you mod their games. So Outer Worlds, let's hope to God you can get mods in it. It'll be so fucking awesome. And this is New Vegas 2 without being New Vegas. That's the best way to put it.
Basically.
Without being Fallout, I should say.
I'm really worried about it getting negative press from hardcore Fallout fans, though. Just because it's not that that same aesthetic everyone's used to.
Well,
I don't think
I feel
Fallout
like
fans will have any problem with it right now.
Well,
I think
okay,
Fallout fans got another thing on their plate to worry about.
Let me put it this way. There are people that exist that only know Obsidian because of New Vegas.
I would be one of those, honestly. Just saying.
Yeah, but you're surrounded by Kyle.
Yeah, don't worry.
He preaches their love in good graces every chance he gets.
He's
Hey.
all around me.
You open your medicine cabinet, and the prescription on your pills doesn't say the name of the medicine anymore. It just says Obsidian. The mist on the mirror when you get out of the shower, Obsidian. Your toast when it pops out of the toaster, the burn marks, Obsidian.
The burn marks? Jesus.
The only mineral I will ever let you extract in Minecraft, obsidian.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say about it. I mean, realistically,
It's
in
gonna be
terms of,
sick.
I have absolutely no idea what any of the game is about or like how the skill system or anything like that works because I didn't look anything up. I don't want to look anything up. I don't want to know anything about it. I want to jump in blind and experience everything like firsthand right there. And
Yeah,
this is
dog.
one of the few rare games I've got to do that with because I've had my face buried so far.
Spoiler free.
Yep, I buried my face so far in Final Fantasy XIV's titties that like I couldn't even breathe for air.
I haven't even come back out yet, so we're good.
I'm peeking every once in a while, just looking up around me. You know, gonna be peeking at Outer Worlds titties for a little bit. This is a really weird analogy, but you know, there's what was you gonna say, Jay?
Oh, I was just hung to that.
Oh.
The weird emoji.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Nothing scripted in this podcast. You can at least say
You only
that.
said titties because Final Fantasy is a JRPG.
That's true. And there's a lot of titties in that game. But the only other thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Outer Worlds, honestly, we spent the most time on Call of Duty. I find that extremely funny, but that's the one I know the most about because of all the marketing. Outer Worlds is going to be a pleasant surprise, and I can't wait to talk about it next week while Shane is screaming about Luigi's Mansion in the background. That's going to be the fun part. So that's the 3 games that have been planned for this week. They're all out tomorrow, tonight, whenever they're dropping. One of them apparently was yesterday. Next, we're gonna get to the actual fun story topics, news topics, I should say.
We talked about one a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about Fallout a little bit already, so let's jump back into that. Bethesda recently announced their new subscription service for Fallout 76. And I know what you're thinking. Why the fuck does that game have a subscription service?
And who's still playing that?
$100 a year, Omega Lol.
And yeah, who's still playing that? Well, I could answer that. I don't want to answer that. Matter of fact, I won't even bother you with the answer to that. But I do have an answer.
I only know one person. That's all. I'm going with it.
One person. Yep, me too. One singular person.
Same.
Our friend group?
It is a mutual person.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all we're going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I know who you're talking about. But even they're pretty mad right now, so that's pretty interesting. Because said person said that might be his game of the year, but that quickly turned last night.
You're not talking about the same person I'm
We're
talking
not
about.
talking about
Oh.
Yeah. We're not
Then
talking.
we know more than one.
Gosh.
You might. I don't.
Sadly.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys do.
I mean,
You
we
should-
know him. I know who you're talking about now. I forgot about this, but I inadvertently forgot because I like to pretend that he doesn't exist sometimes.
Whoa.
Wait. Is it that one guy?
Yeah, it's not.
Wow, we're being overly vague
I was
right
gonna
now.
say we'll just keep it at that.
Was he in the Discord?
No,
Okay, then I have no idea. Continue.
but anyways, to go back to the subject of the game in question here, the one that we don't even want to speak the name of now because we're being so vague about you know what that we're not even gonna say what it is. No, Fallout 76 has a new subscription service, and it's called Bethesda First. Is that right?
Yes.
More like Bethesda Last, but anyways,
Okay.
there is a new plan that you can pay for that gives you a ton of new features in Fallout 76. And I forget the entire list, so if you boys want to start naming them off for the lovely listeners here.
Private servers that should have been free.
Sorta, kinda.
Sorta, kinda. I like that. Okay.
Should have been free still.
A box that lets you store unlimited crafting materials, which is a
Sorta,
very
kinda.
big problem in the first game, or in the actual game, that's been a complaint since the very start because your storage space is very limited.
Okay.
But don't worry, you can buy this and not have to worry about that anymore if you continue
Dude,
to pay.
okay.
Sort of, kind of.
But you get free. But you get free. And Shane can't say fucking sort of kind of this bullshit. You get free money. You get free whatever the what's that in-game money called again?
Adams.
Whatever that, yeah.
Yeah.
Get that shit that no one cares about.
That you can buy some. I mean, I can't say anything because I haven't been on there a long time, but
Sorta,
when
kinda.
I was on there, the items you could get in the Atom store were very underwhelming.
The only time I've ever heard anything about the Atom Store was when they did that stupid we could buy like the Silver Shroud outfit and stuff, and you got like actual bonuses for being in parties with people that had the other superhero outfits. Because people were mad about it because it was technically pay
Okay,
to
if they
win.
would have made it so you could just find that shit in loot tables and then done stuff like that, that would have been so cool. Why couldn't they have kept it simple and been like, hey, you can go to this place and find a Silver Shroud outfit, and your buddy can go to that place and find a Mechanist outfit. Bam, do the full
Pay
party.
to win, my guy.
Are you ready to hear why I keep saying sort of, kind of? There's a reason.
Oh,
Oh, God.
boy, I'm
Please.
excited for this. Let's hear it.
So,
Drop
private
the
servers
bomb.
are actually private. Anybody in your friends list can join. So, let's say you make a lot of good friends that I just want to play with, like everybody in this Discord right now. Anybody in my friends list can join it. Also, they reuse private servers. There's been people that join a private server, and there's looted corpses. There's things already dead. They're reused. There's not actual true private servers, and they shut down.
Gross. Bethesda's
You're paying for it,
nasty.
and they shut down when you leave, or they kick your friends off when you leave. So you had to consistently stay on. So it's like what?
Ooh.
And then scrap boxes. The reason I keep saying sort of, kind of for those, it turns out people's stuff is getting eaten in their scrap boxes. So like the stuff that they're
It's
putting in
just
there
disappearing.
indefinitely are just it's just all disappearing.
Boy, that
So
sounds like a problem they've had since the start.
oh yeah,
Man, Bethesda's so good at making video games.
it makes me
What
really
happened?
depressed. Yeah, because like Oblivion was my first Xbox 360 game. It was my first next gen game, and I was so excited to play it. I was so freaking excited. I enjoyed every moment of it.
Oblivion was good. Just kind
And
of been
now it's
downhill
just
since
like,
then.
what happened?
No wonder
Like, I don't even
No
understand.
wonder they keep releasing Skyrim.
Yeah, they ran out of fucking ideas, and they were like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
shit, this game came out stable, fucking better re-release it a million times.
I'm gonna get mobbed for it because fucking Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna suck. I would bet money on it.
I'm starting to be pretty confident that Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to be anything
Real?
I guarantee you, within the first year and a half of Elder Scrolls 6's release, you'll hear, "Damn, Skyrim is so much better. I miss Skyrim. When are they going to release Skyrim again?" Like, you're going to hear shit like that. They were
We don't
pre-gaming
want
us.
that.
Oh, we don't want it, but you're going to hear it.
It's almost like they're wanting to become like a mobile game company, you know?
Yeah.
Look what I just posted, by the way.
Is that what you mean when you say that they're acquiring mobile game company Alpha Dog Games?
Yeah,
Gee, that's a real
I
shocker.
actually didn't know that. I just now found that out.
To make it even more
Yeah.
depressing for everybody here, I mean, their legacy goes far beyond that. Like, Bethesda was a forefront in Western RPG development. They were one of the guys next to like BioWare, which is also in the shitter. Like, that was like
Dude,
making
di-
Western RPGs that like were like, fuck you, this is like how this is supposed to be over here. Like,
I mean, Daggerfall was so far ahead of its time when
Yeah.
it came out.
Daggerfall is one of the craziest RPGs in existence. It has the largest map. We've talked about this on an episode of the podcast before. It has the largest map in like any game. Jason. Oh, he got. God, why does Discord do this to you? Okay,
I don't know. It was like every time I touched the chat box and stuff, it just
closes. Huh. Hey, Discord, that's a
Uh.
bug. If you're listening, which I know you're not, but you should listen to our podcast so you can hear about this bug.
yeah.
Speaking of bugs, back to Bethesda. They have done so much to like revolutionize Western RPGs and like open world gaming in general. Like there's so many games that they've made that have taken this idea of going anywhere and doing whatever you want and have made it like so easy to do. And now we're living in an age where their games are open world, quote unquote, and everything is so restricted and like handheld. It's like, what happened? It's like, where did all the passion for this like make your own adventure RPG style game go? Like Oblivion was a good one, yes, but it started setting the bar for them to be like, we don't have to put as much effort into our games anymore because people like them like this.
I think that Oblivion was the last one that really had a game you had to think about. I feel like Fallout 3 was really when it started to just like go downhill, and then them changing from the Elder Scrolls skill system to the Skyrim skill system was like, why even think about how you play the game anymore? Just
Max everything out to 100, become a god, it's fine.
yeah, because you remember how ridiculous it was to level up in Oblivion.
You remember how ridiculous it was to level up in Morrowind?
Yeah,
I've
and then they
heard.
got rid of all that when they.
Hey,
And-
hey Jason, not to
This guy.
veer
What's
off
up?
topic really quick, but is the Fallout First website still what I think it is?
I think so.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that up later too.
Ooh, yeah, I want to see that too. I'm interested. I heard about that.
Oh, I mean, I put the link to. Or
I
Yeah.
was just reading it. Did someone? Is that the people? Is that where 4chan bought it first?
Yeah, remember I told you about that this morning?
Yeah.
so I was gonna make a joke about Bethesda or what was it?
Fuck you
Whatever
first.
the subscription thing.
Dude, if you're a Bethesda fuck you first slaves.
I didn't know this. This was hilarious. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
you want to know who bought it and did this to it, Shane? This is Bethesda's
Yeah,
actual
4chan.
domain. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this was owned by Bethesda. So since we're laughing about it so much already, I'm just gonna go ahead and lay it out. Bethesda forgot to buy their domain rights for the new subscription service called Fallout First. So now FalloutFirst.com is owned by 4chan, which we all know who 4chan is. The hacker man himself, 4chan. No, but yeah, that website, you know, we all know what it's all about, what goes on there. Just gonna keep it at that.
My favorite, my favorite part is if you scroll like almost all the way down to the bottom. It's the little picture of the guy with the 12 fingers. If you read the little thing right under that.
It's okay. This membership will do it for you. I'm dead.
I can't breathe. If I continue to read this, I'm not gonna be able to do the rest of the podcast.
Oh man.
I just like how it says, "Look at the wonderful community response," and it's IGN's video of them literally shitting on it for 10 minutes.
Yeah. And when IGN shits on it, you know it's like bad because they
Oh yeah,
they
that's
chill out for
super bad.
everyone. They chill out
Yeah,
for
they do.
everybody. Fallout Fuck You First will be available as a 1-month waste your money membership, or you can purchase a yearly cash burning pile for a 36% discount. Everybody go to falloutfirst.com to check out your Fallout First subscription benefits. It's real good.
Oh my
Explains
god.
everything.
Really runs it down for you.
I like the not so Ranger armor outfit. Player icons and emotes must be claimed from the Atomic Shop while your Fallout Fuck You First membership is active, because we are too lazy to give it to you. If you cancel your membership after claiming them, you'll still have access to them. But then again, how have we been with our promises? Hee hee.
Oh my god. I like that they are so hated and they just don't have any original thinking anymore. that they had to bring an outfit from Obsidian's Fallout game
right?
into theirs as a
Like-
incentive.
Like I said earlier when we were talking about this, Bethesda does not know their fan base anymore.
Nope, they have lost the narrative years ago.
Mm-hmm. They like to think that they do, but they don't.
Nope. We're at a crossroads with them now where they're going to start. They're in EA territory, and we just gotta see if they either fix themselves or if they decide, fuck it, this is where we want to be for sure, and stay there.
The best thing about Outer Worlds coming out is that Obsidian's about to show them what you can do with Western RPGs versus what you are doing.
Dude, this is horrible timing for them to fuck up too. Like this is real bad.
Well, this is like
I mean-
Blizzard with the Riot Games thing.
Still think that was planned, but you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, this one definitely wasn't. This is just them. This is their way of being like, oh yeah, Obsidian's got this, but we got this, and everybody just looking like
We don't want that.
guy in the background. Who cares? Oh gosh, that's a good laugh though.
Honestly, well, like, I don't know about you guys. When I first saw the Fallout thing on Twitter, I actually thought it was fake. Because it seemed too
Too absurd.
bad.
I've
like,
gotten to
someone
the
made this
point
up.
where I see that shit now, and I'm like, well, I believe it. And then when it was actually like that, I was like, oh god, I know I said I believed it, but
Well,
why?
apparently a lot of people thought it was fake until, well, at least where I saw it, Boogie posted an actual picture from the PlayStation Store where you could buy it.
yeah. Well, here's
And
the
that's what-
biggest insult of the whole thing that everybody seems to forget. They promised a free update that added the NPCs and shit for this month, and then delayed it. And then in its
For this.
place, announced a $100 subscription service. Oh yeah, well you're not getting your free NPCs and your actual story mode and shit, but here you go. Here's just to pay us $100, bitch. Like,
Give me my money.
yeah. As if we haven't enough already with how many times when they've been releasing Skyrim as many times as they have over and over and over again. That should have been the bad sign, you know? That they're washed up. That's what Bethesda
But it
is.
doesn't matter. The worst part is people still believe in them. People will pay for this and make Bethesda think it's okay.
Yeah, but no matter
Because
how much
people are-
screaming,
Shills
yeah.
for this company.
No matter how much we scream, though, fucking, I mean, we've tried. I've tried for years. I've tried for years to tell people that Bethesda is awful now, and that fucking they're a waste of time, just like BioWare. But people do not listen. They will continue to play their bad games, and that is just the way that it's going to be.
I just want BioWare to be good.
Honestly,
I'm one of those.
I was
I'm
kind of
trying
in
not
that.
to give up on BioWare.
I was kind of in that situation for a long time. I fully believed that I liked Fallout 3 until I got older and went back and played New Vegas again.
The writing
And
of the
Fallout 3 again.
fucking story for Fallout 3 is absurd. It's so dumb. Like, if you just sit there and think about how the whole thing plays out.
Also, I never even made it through Fallout 4. I won't lie, I never even finished it.
Managed to do that. Okay, Fallout 4's story sucks. Fallout 4's DLC, decent. I don't know how they keep doing that. I don't know how they keep nailing
Fallout
the side
4's
stories.
gun customization was on point. I'll tell you
Oh, you
that.
mean-
Yeah, with
Mothership Zeta?
mods. With mods, but without fucking mods, it was like, oh, let's slap a piece of wood onto the iron sights, and now I have a scope.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm also easy to please, kinda, sorta.
We know,
Yeah, you like
Shane.
bad video games.
We know you're easy to please.
Yeah, Death Plan Paragon. Bye.
Oh god,
You
he's
can't come
to
back
talking
and say
shit
that.
already. He just did.
Vinny, you missed our whole make fun of Bethesda segment. Oh, I mean, it's still going on, but we're almost
Damn it.
done.
Nah, Vinny liked Fallout 4.
I liked Fallout 4.
I liked the DLC. The gameplay feels good. It's just one, it's not an RPG, and people who say that it was are fucking fooling themselves.
I feel like Fallout 76 was mocking me.
Oh yeah, you
Hey,
played
Vinny.
it.
I did.
Vinny.
Because
I actually forgot you did.
I think they heard me say, "Man, I really want like a Fallout Skyrim game that's co-op," and they're like, "Hey, here you go, buy
It's
my
trash though, by the way.
It's the monkey's paw, dude. Man, I
It
just
is
want an open world RPG like Fallout or Skyrim that's co-op. Hey, did you hear about Fallout 76? It's multiplayer. Really? 2 months later? Ah!
game."
Just
Yeah,
screaming.
it was a trash game. Don't.
Yeah, but bottom line,
Yeah, I stalked you around a little bit on there one night.
The Fallout games could be good for what 76 wants to do. 76 just isn't good.
yeah. Don't worry about Fallout 76. Everybody check out the new good Fallout game, Outer Worlds. That's the one that you want to be checking out.
It's
You know what else
Fallout,
is shitty about that? It's Spacebound, and guess what Bethesda's this next game coming out is?
Oh yeah, I forgot
fucking-
about that.
Yeah,
I
it's
read that
gonna
the
be
other day
set
on
in
Reddit.
space.
And someone was like, "This is a little weird," and I was like,
Yeah, I'll have a little bit. Give me a second.
Our guys, mods are asleep."
Mods are asleep.
Vinny,
Post FalloutFirst.com.
Click on that link.
Yeah, Vinny, go to FalloutFirst.com and check out all the benefits that you get. I'm
Yeah, I've
so
already-
excited to hear this fucking reaction, dude.
I've
No,
already
you got to
seen
go
it.
read that
It's-
website.
Oh, you've seen it?
Oh wait, I have not.
Dude, you gotta
Oh,
go to
yeah,
you gotta go to FalloutFirst.com. Just check it out. We sit in
Dude, the
silence as
internet's
we
such a
wait to hear.
glorious place.
To fill you in on what happened there, Bethesda
Fallout
forgot to
fuck.
buy the domain, and 4chan bought it. So
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
they did it again.
You guys can use these private servers to play by yourselves. We know you like it like that.
Sloppy fucking seconds though, because you go into a private server and someone's already fadangled a million ghoul corpses and where your base used to be. Fucking Bethesda's a mess. Jesus Christ.
Normally, I like to stay out of a certain friends that we know way when they talk about shit like that because I don't
Going
want to
vague
argue.
again. I like this. Yeah.
But if I hear anyone try to defend this shit, oh dude, I don't know if I could take it.
Yeah. This is going too far.
You
But-
can make your case for the game, but you can't make your case for paying $100 a year for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say that if anybody defends this, I will give up on them as a human and never, ever, ever ask them on their opinion on anything ever again.
Even as a joke.
If it's a joke, then I mean, obviously I'm gonna know it's a joke.
Yeah.
So just from the fact that Shane had to say, "What if it's a joke?"
Nope. I don't even think in Shane's dumb pea brain he can defend this.
Damn. Damn Shane.
So Shane,
And Shane's favorite thing to do is he's like, yeah, that game sucks, unless.
No, fucking Shane was sitting there right now. He just, even if it's a joke, and no, if it was a joke, fuck them too. He slowly slides his credit card back down into his wallet and sets it down. Vinny, that was aptly timed.
Unless.
Okay, so
oh man, wow.
Yeah, dude, Fallout 76 has been the best joke this week.
Yeah,
This
it's,
week?
Again,
I think it's been
I said
It's
again,
funny,
They're making
it
they're
does-
making a run
okay.
back, my dude.
okay.
maybe one day it'll be good again.
I regret ever buying that game.
I'm working over
Yeah, you paid
here.
money for it, haha.
I did. I'm full of regrets.
Fallout
Me and Vinny were
76
already account
regrets.
sharing then, and he was like, "Sorry, I bought it physically because it was on sale," and I was like, "I don't fucking won't play it anyway."
So yeah, that's Fallout 76. Bethesda's a mess, and not much more can be said. They're fucked. I mean, in the long run, just to kind of tap into this for just a few more minutes here, did we expect anything less from a company like this? EA had the same thing. They used to make such great games, and they've fallen from grace. BioWare used to
And
make such great games, fallen from grace. Bethesda, same thing. Bottom line, it's going to happen eventually to most people. You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. With that thought-provoking quote, let's move on. We got some good news and some bad news left to talk about today in the podcast, and we're going to go ahead and get the bad
some
news
of
out
it's
of the way
mediocre
first.
news.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd probably be the better way to describe it. You're right. Mediocre news and good news. No, mediocre news and bad news? Yeah.
I think they're both kind of mediocre, actually.
Honestly,
Like,
it depends
I
on
don't
how
think
you
either of
look
them
at.
is that bad.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. So, 5 games were delayed today. 5, which is fucking crazy. 3 of them are Ubisoft, and 2 of them are PlayStation. So, we'll go ahead and go to Ubisoft first, because they had I think it was a conference call is what I was reading recently that some people were in on from the industry that got to listen to everything. They have delayed Rainbow Six Quarantine, um, Gods and Monsters, which for those who don't know, it was that Breath of the Wild looking game that they showed at the very end of their E3 conference, and the
That we
one.
knew nothing about, so the delay isn't that surprising.
Yeah, it's not like a oh no, what the fuck, why? It's like okay.
Yeah.
And then the one that kind of breaks my heart because I was excited to see where it was going to go. Watch Dogs Legion was also delayed. They delayed them in a, for lack of a better way of explaining it, indefinitely into the fiscal year of 2021. So that means that there isn't even a concrete time when we get there for it to come out. It could be any time there.
And so, do you think this is good or bad? Do you think it's good that Ubisoft's trying to like better themselves and not rush games out, that they're actually like taking a step back to like try to make their games and their company better?
I think they're investing this kind of like care into the wrong games for this. So this is gonna sound like I'm saying that I think these games are gonna suck regardless. I'm not. What I'm trying to say is you don't delay Rainbow Six Quarantine and put another year to 2 years of development time into that when things like Beyond Good and Evil 2 and a new Assassin's Creed are on the horizon. Like you don't invest so much time into a game like that when your audiences, specifically Ubisoft's fan base in general, are looking towards other things, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can kind of look at it both ways. Well, with Rainbow Six, I do agree that they probably shouldn't have delayed that one. I agree with Watch Dogs because it really looks like they're trying to make the series as a whole better.
Yeah, that's the one that like I'm like, okay, it
And
sucks, but I'm cool with it.
And I think Gods and Monsters or whatever was a good call too because it's a new IP.
Yeah, trying to play it
And
safe.
you should really like if you're making new IP, you should take the time to really buckle down and make it what you want to make it and not try to push it out really fast. But I do agree with the Rainbow Six thing. That did not need to be delayed. It was already just a game mode in Siege anyway. Like, how much work did they honestly have to put into it?
Yeah, not just that, but it seems like if they're going to be putting resources into this stuff, that's a bad thing to put them into because it shows that you're that scared. Ubisoft has had a history of being like worried that they're going to get bought out by like major big companies. Anyways, there was that big thing with Vivendi Universal a couple of years ago where they straight up were like, if you don't start making profits, we're going to buy you out. Like, and a lot of people were scared because they didn't want to be bought out by them because Vivendi is like notoriously greedy, like worse than EA.
They're good at killing companies.
Yeah, they're just like EA in that aspect. They'll buy you and then get rid of you.
Absorb all your assets and then just.
Yep. And so with the financial year they've had, I think they're just really scared and they're playing it almost too safe. They announced at the same time that they announced these delays that the Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint underperformed extremely compared to their expectations for both last year and this year. So they've
Mhm.
I guess they've taken two really big hits from those two games not selling as well as they needed to.
From what I heard, Ghost Recon Breakpoint was good. It just had gameplay issues.
Yeah. Well,
It was kind of buggy.
I've heard a lot of stuff about that game with microtransactions and bugs, but bottom line, it's nothing fantastic and it's hard to market anyways because I mean they got an actor to play as the main bad guy for a reason. You don't make a game like that just because you want to. Like you make a game like that because or not so much the game, but the marketing. You don't market the game like that, I should say, rather than you don't make the game like that. You don't market the game like that to be like, oh yeah, this is the sequel to Wildlands, this game that you all loved, haha. You're doing it because you're like, oh shit, that's the guy from Walking Dead, cool, I get to fight him. Like that's what they were going for, and it failed.
Yeah.
Failed tremendously. I think with Division though, I don't have an answer. I thought Division did really well. I'm really confused on that one.
Yeah. Whatever. If they said it was under expectations, they had their expectations set too high.
Honestly, that's probably what it was. I think Division sold like decent. A lot of people were saying
Yeah.
it was the saving grace for looter shooters because when Division came out last year, that was when Destiny 2 was still in the shitter.
Yep. And Division 2 helped really put the big nail in Anthem's coffin. People
Yeah.
were still playing it at that point because they had nothing else. Division 2 came out and Anthem people stopped.
Yep.
It died that day.
It's weird to me that they are saying, but I mean, we don't have the numbers, so
Yeah.
um with Ubisoft as a company doing stuff like this, though, it makes me worried for games like Beyond Good and Evil. And because even though I've talked a lot about how much I'm upset that this game is a prequel or whatever, if it even still is a prequel, we don't know at this point because we haven't heard shit. But, like, I still want to see what happens. I want it to be finished in some way so we can at least say there was a second Beyond Good and Evil. I hate. Oh, go ahead.
Ubisoft has had a lot of ups and downs for me as a company, but in no way do I want to see them like fail. Like
Yeah.
I want them to be a good company because I know they have it in them to make good games. I wish they would just like make good games instead of like
They're another one.
they always seem like they're playing around with too much stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was ready to say. They're another one that falls from grace because they have so many IPs that they throw under the bus and then focus on all their shitty ones. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they need to pick the ones that people, cry for new games in. Like,
I think
Assassin's
it's
Creed is in a place
I
where.
think it's time to retire Assassin's Creed.
Oh, damn!
I I
How,
I
how
think
could
it's
you
time to
say.
retire Assassin's Creed, and I think they should keep doing what they're doing with Siege because it's doing well for them. I think they should work on reinventing some of their older IPs and making new ones instead of focusing on the same few.
How could you say something so controversial, but so brave? No, I agree, though. There's a lot to left to be desired that they just don't work with anymore. Like, where the fuck did Rayman go? We got a couple of Rayman 2D games, like 5 or 6 years. I think the last one was like 2, 3 years ago, and haven't heard anything since. Their partnership with Nintendo was a cool thing that they popped up and mentioned like twice, like 2 years in a row at E3. We got the Starlink, Star Fox shit because of it, and the Mario and Rabbids game and DLC. And then after that, nothing. So like that was a good idea that like where to go.
Forward and can't get a break.
Yeah, I just think, I think Ubisoft, I don't know. They could do good, they could do bad. Let's just hope they make the right decision this time and not, off themselves, which could also be the case coming back from this fact that they've delayed 3 games today.
Yeah.
But,
So to move on to PlayStation, a huge game got delayed, and one that we're still not even sure how it's gonna when it's supposed to come out also got delayed. So it's a little confusing. The Last of Us Part 2 was delayed until March 29th, I do believe. May 29th. 2019. It was supposed to come out in March. That's right, because it was like really close to Final Fantasy VII remake, or was it February? It was one of the two. Anyways, so yeah, that got delayed 3 extra months. They released a statement saying why, and it's the usual. We're gonna try to make the game the best it can be. Blah 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 blah. Which okay, whatever. But the second one is the one that I really want to talk about here, and that's Ghost of Tsushima was also reportedly delayed until late 2020, which means that it was supposed to come out early next year, according to everybody in the industry that had tabs on the game. But no one can say for certain when, and now they just know that it's going to be releasing at the end of 2020, and it's still going to be a PS4 exclusive. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Any speculation? Maybe it's actually going to be a PS5 game, or do you think it'll be a PS4 game? I still think I think it should have been a PS5 launch title.
Reasons I think it'll still be a PS4 game. If they had the idea of launching it early next year, then most of their work is probably already for making it on the PS4.
Yeah,
It might be one of those dual exclusives where it comes out on both consoles at the same time,
that would be cool.
like they used to do. But who knows? But I do think it'll still be on the PS4 in one way or another, because you have to think, from what all they showed us, that little trailer and shit, and how beautiful and everything looks, is like it's going to be hard for them to just scrap that and rebuild it on whatever the new system architecture is.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, that also begs the question: if it gets dual launched, how similar in architecture? I mean, we know the specs of the PS5 now.
That's what makes me think that is like, if the PS5 is radically different architecture-wise from the PS4, it'll be a PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
If it's not, it'll probably come out on both.
Yeah, which we've heard the specs, but like that doesn't exactly. The specs don't mean.
Yeah.
The way that you design the games on it is the same.
Sony's radical architecture change has been the reason why they've never wanted to do cross-platform before.
Yeah.
PS2 games just don't run on the PS3. The reason they had to release them digitally is because you basically had to like pseudo emulate them.
Yeah, you're kind
of on the PS3 console.
I mean, they work, but not in the same vein as they would if it was like actually putting in the disc. Yeah.
I mean, when I had a physical copy of Final Fantasy Tactics, because it's my favorite PS1 game of all time, and I used to play it in my PS3 because the PS3 can play PS1 discs.
Yeah, which is also
but they were
really
laggy.
Weird. Yeah,
it was laggy. It was weird. Like I could emulate the game better than I could have played it on a console, which is wild.
It was a very strange setup. By the way, is anybody else here? We just kind of started again. Dead. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, he's just really quiet. But yeah, so I could see that being the case. I could also see it just being a PS4 exclusive. If it is a PS4 exclusive still, I kind of hope that the latest we have to worry about is like August 2020.
They could also do the thing, if the PS5 actually has backwards compatibility, like they're saying it's going to, they can also do the thing where it's a PS4 exclusive, but then they market it as runs better on a PS5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, the classic works on my machine, smile.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, it just depends on what they're actually going to do. We won't know until we know exactly what's going on with the PS5. Then we'll be able to gauge this better. All they keep doing is telling us what the PS5 is going to be all about, and then kind of
They
gotta
keep telling us
visualize it.
what they want it to do. They haven't told us what it can do. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like it's the same with Scarlet. It's the same with a lot of new consoles. Companies like to say what they want it to do and what they think it'll do, not what it will do.
yeah.
Remember, PS4 will, or the PS4 Pro will play in 4K. Will it? I'm pretty sure
Not.
this is upscaled 1080.
What was it
but
earlier from Bethesda? Kind of, sorta.
Kind of, sorta.
Yeah, kind of, sorta. Not really.
It will be in 4K. I mean, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Little.
Kind of, sorta.
Kind of, sorta.
It's yeah.
You never know anything about a console till it releases. And sometimes you get surprised. Like the Switch. And sometimes you get the Sega Dreamcast.
Or the Wii U.
Or the Wii U. Yeah. Nintendo has been on both sides of that coin. And it's off topic, but I was actually just talking to Brandy the other day about how I still think the Wii U was just the test model of the Switch that got accidentally released.
They're like, ah, shit. Well, now we gotta solve this fucking versions of these we got.
But we'll find out. Obviously, because we got to plug ourselves in our own podcast, we'll be covering the console things like every step of the way because I'm really into the like system architecture and hardware of consoles.
Yeah,
so I'm
that's-
sure we'll talk about it a lot.
That's gonna be interesting when we finally start to see that shit. That'll be next year though, like late next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, E3 next year, guaranteed we're getting
Oh, E3
Project
next year
Scarlet
is gonna
information.
be horrifying to cover.
Like
oh my god.
Xbox is going to drop something huge about Scarlet. Hopefully they don't turn it into like the Xbox One was, where that's what the whole talking point is. But we'll find out.
The fucking microprocessing teraflops or whatever the hell they were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious a couple years ago.
Dude, gotta love them
Okay.
teraflops.
So, to summarize once again, 3 of Ubisoft's games were delayed, and they said they didn't have a very good year last year or the year before, which sucks.
I still have faith in them, kind of though. Like
Sony,
I still believe they can do it
kind of,
if
sort
they
of.
do it right. Kind of, sorta.
Sony announced that The Last of Us Part 2 is delayed. The entire internet is screaming and crying.
Yeah, but how did no one else see this coming? Like, how? I wasn't surprised.
I was not surprised, but I was a little confused that they did this fresh off the announcement of the release date at that state of play, because that literally like just happened. You know what I mean? That happened like last
Yeah.
month, I think, or not even that.
But it's just
it was,
like,
3
I feel
weeks
like
ago.
I feel like we've been chasing The Last of Us 2's tail for years now, and it's not looking like it's gonna stop.
You can say we've been chasing the Naughty Dog's tail.
Yeah.
Moving on. We got one
Well-
more topic for today. Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of
Naughty Dog-
chasing tails, oh, go.
They fucked up with this pushback though, because now there's no excuse. Naughty Dog does not have an excuse. If this game comes out broken or bad, people will be even more pissed than they already would have been.
Yeah, but the lenses are too tinted. They'll be like, "Oh, Last of Us 2. I'm 3 minutes in, and it's the best game I've ever made. 10 out of 10."
Oh no,
I'm
I'm still talking about people who are like some of the people we watch that are very critical about video
Yeah.
games. Like, imagine if this game, if it comes out bad, imagine how bad like Easy Allies is going to just tear it apart. Or anybody who can think critically about a video game, they're going to rip it to shreds.
Problem is, it'll be like one of them doesn't like it, the rest of them are in love with it. That's just the way that those groups like that were. That's how
Yeah.
it's that game just appeals to a group of people that I don't understand. I mean, The Last of Us 1 wasn't bad, but it also wasn't exactly the greatest thing on the planet like everybody says it is. So, fucking shoot me, I guess.
Gotcha.
So for
I mean-
the final topic for today, we're gonna wrap this up with some interesting news.
I'm
This is-
ready.
This is the one that Seth's excited. Out of all the things to happen today, all the craziness, this is the thing Seth is the most excited to talk
Okay,
about.
listen. I tried like 3 weeks ago or actually it's been longer than that. I tried like months ago to try to let me shit talk Twitch, and you said no because it wasn't relevant enough. Guess what? Now it's relevant enough.
So, Shroud, the CS:GO player, was he for Cloud9?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
ex
CS:GO
CS:GO Pro.
fame. Yeah, CS:GO fame. Pro player Shroud. I mean, he doesn't play anymore, like Seth just said, but he's a big popular streamer on Twitch, or should I say, was a big popular streamer on Twitch. He announced today that he is moving to Mixer, just like Ninja. And all I gotta say is, tough stuff, Twitch, but you gotta step up your game if you're gonna want to keep your people.
Let's be real. This is Twitch's fault. Like I said, Shroud has been critical about Twitch in the past. This is like their fault. They just keep doing the wrong things. They're banning the wrong people. They're handling everything wrong. Apparently, TwitchCon was like a fuck fest again this year.
That's what I've heard.
I
I
mean,
heard that people just
you
got
heard-
to run around and like grope their favorite streamers and all this other
Well,
crazy
you heard
shit.
about that. You heard about that guy that got banned because he accidentally filmed inside the partner lounge as he was walking by it. His camera was pointed at it.
Yeah,
Like
it
as he was
hit
walking?
the floor or something, and yeah,
Yeah, and they banned him. And this was right after they had that conference saying intent matters. We'll look at intent before we ban people.
wonderful.
Yep. And then they apologized to him for it, but didn't reverse the ban.
Jeez.
I think that Mixer is gonna start is doing exactly what Riot Games did with Blizzard, and what Obsidian is doing with Outer Worlds to kind of keep it topical.
We bring it up so much in this podcast, but Microsoft is a smart company, and they know when to jump in to
Ha! Get it? Jump in. That's their thing. The 360.
yeah. But they know when to take their chances, and they're playing it smart, and they're making because Mixer's been out for years, but they've never tried anything this crazy before.
They're blowing a lot of money doing it, so I hope it works out in the long run, but at the same time, I think that them doing it in general is just a funny way to spite Twitch, because Twitch is like losing a huge viewer count with Ninja and now Shroud.
Well, let's be real, people have been mad at Twitch since Amazon bought them. And then that kind of started to go away because they enticed us with all the free Twitch Prime shit. And now people are starting to realize, like, oh god, that only covered up part of the problem.
I mean, the honestly, my only big problem with Twitch is how frequently they ban all the wrong people. Other than that, I think it's still like a decent streaming service.
I mean, it's a streaming service that works well.
It ain't no Justin TV, but it gets the job done.
But I don't, like, the bans are just hard for me to stomach. Especially when, not name dropping, but Alinity is still on the platform.
Ooh, and then he name dropped even though he said he wasn't gonna name drop. Dang.
Ooh, that was the joke. I mean, we all expected her to get banned when the whole PewDiePie stuff happened. Remember?
Yeah.
And it's been forever since then.
Yep. It's fucking still scot-free even from that. That was probably where they should have really started looking at her, but she probably went and, turned tricks for someone at Amazon, and now she's free to do whatever
I'm
she
not
wants.
saying that's what happened, but that's what Twitter's saying is what happened. So
yeah, and Twitter's always right. They're never wrong.
Yeah. Who am I to say that Twitter's wrong?
Dude, we get real controversial in this podcast. I just realized. Hey, if you got a problem with how we say shit, don't watch us.
You got a problem with how we say shit? Well, you probably shouldn't because it's actually not really that bad.
Yeah.
Like, you ever been on the rest of the internet?
I could have said that she this is the part where I cut it out, and it's just like a long ass beeping sound. Until she furiously, and then I'll cut it out here
Oh.
too because whatever. And until her eyes bled, so it could have been
That's
worse.
probably exactly what she did.
Yeah. There you go.
To be honest with you, though, the only reason I hate Alinity so much is because like she can do whatever she wants on the internet, whatever. But that clip of her force feeding her cat alcohol,
Yeah, that's not
No.
cool, man.
yeah, I'll never be able to fucking drop that.
Okay, well, back to the Shroud bit though. With how many people they're picking up, who's your prediction for the next one to convert over to Mixer?
Like I said earlier, I honestly think that their next smart plan should be to try to go for a team.
Okay,
like-
yeah,
Oh, I
that's
agree.
right.
Yeah.
Can I get all of Team Liquid or all of Cloud9 to stream on Mixer? Like, that's a nutty play that no one would ever expect.
Yeah. It would definitely turn heads because it'd be like, holy shit, they got the whole organization to endorse doing that.
Yeah.
But then again, when we go to that scale, so like, let's say they get like C9, and they get it for they're doing it for a like Mixer partnership with C9 to only stream on their platform. Well, what do they do about all the other games besides the one that they're worried about, like CS:GO? Like, what happens if Mango is like on a Melee tournament on Twitch?
Well, okay, so from what I understand, Ninja talked about this. He's not Mixer did not forbid him from streaming on Twitch. So he still could if he wanted to.
You just don't want to.
And the reason that's in the contract is because if he's in a Fortnite tournament that's on Twitch, they're not gonna shit on him for it.
Okay, so then they've planned for this.
But-
That's good.
But remember, they also, because they have exclusive streaming contract with Ninja, if he's invited to a tournament that will be streamed on Twitch, that tournament must also be streamed on Mixer because Ninja's there.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, it sounds like they planned for this though. Maybe the contract for like a whole team won't necessarily say that part, but it will say the part where it's like they won't get in trouble if they're on a stream. Because like
Yeah.
Melee tournaments are all over Twitch all the time, and Mango is like
Yeah.
always at them. So
But I think Mixer, they handle it right. I think they could do something with this and make themselves a good rival for
the one that I
Twitch.
want to see to really stir the pot, I want to see them pick up Summit. That would really scare Twitch.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, anyone like that, Summit,
Pokey, if I can get Summit,
Yeah.
Pokey, like, Doctor Disrespect, even probably. Fucking.
But Twitch should already be scared because not a lot of people who stream on Twitch are shitting on Shroud for this. They're congratulating him. They're they're letting him do what he wants to do. They're not getting mad and being like a loyalist. That should automatically scare them because if those people are like, yeah, Shroud, you do you, and then Mixer's like, how about you do us? What if they?
Yeah, you come
I
to
like
us.
the way he said that.
But like, if they're already accepting that someone else is moving there? Do
Yeah.
they have a reason not to?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other game plan here too, right? Like, obviously, it's like, oh, Shroud's moving to Mixer. Well, I'm gonna stream on Mixer, or I'm
Mhm.
gonna watch him on Mixer. Like, it brings those viewers over, and not just that, but it also like creates this idea that like if you got what it takes, Mixer's gonna blow you up. So people are
Yeah.
gonna start streaming on Mixer more because they're like, oh shit, here's my chance to become a full-time streamer. Blah 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 blah, and there you go. That's all you need. There's gonna be a shit ton of people just trying to stream.
Also, Shroud kind of talked about this earlier, and Ninjas talked about it before. Them moving to Mixer is also actively helping new streamers do things because not only is it bringing new people to Mixer, but like there's not a lot of already big people in Mixer, and Ninja and Shroud aren't going to stop hosting people just because there's no one big.
Yeah.
they'll just pick some baby stream of someone that they've watched for a few minutes and enjoyed their content, and then host them with 20K viewers.
And then
And
there you go. That
maybe
person's...
start someone's entire career right then.
Yep.
So I think Mixer's also helping. Streaming has felt like if you want to be a streamer, you need to be on Twitch, you need to make the right friends, you need to do all of this. And I think Mixer's trying to kind of shake it up and being like, well, anyone can. I mean, have you seen that their partnership program is so much less strict than Twitch's
Yeah.
already?
Yeah, it's very
They
like,
want-
dude, whatever, just play your games, man.
They want people to be there. And that's fine by me. I like that. I've also liked Mixer for a long time. Thought that they were doing all the right things with it. It'll just take time for it to catch up to Twitch.
That's because you're a fucking contrarian. Okay, guys, I think that's gonna wrap.
That hurt.
No, but seriously though, we talked about a lot today. That is going
A
to
lot.
do it. We are done. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you can follow us at the Twitter.
Stuff in the description.
Yeah,
Because
thank you.
saying it every podcast is really annoying.
My brain just died when I tried to say that again for the millionth time. You can check us out on Twitter. You can check out the YouTube channel, obviously. Got a couple of videos that I did a Pac-Man montage recently myself. So if you like Smash, there's a Risk of Rain video coming soon. Surprise!
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And other than that, we're just gonna keep posting the podcast. Any final words before we go, boys?
Nope.
Did you say you want to smash?
Not particularly, but I mean, it's been a while.
If you have Graveyard Keeper, they're kind of
Nope.
new DLC where you get to build your own bar, and it's pretty.
He's running out of them, guys.
He's DLC
He's
for
running
indie
out of
games
them.
now.
He's going to DLC
Well,
for indie games.
no,
He's
I don't.
running out of-
I usually have my library pulled up on like what's good currently out, and that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head, and it's one of my
No.
favorite.
It's okay. You jacked off Graveyard Keeper for like 2 months.
Yeah, 75 hours.
What Vinny, are you here?
Nah,
Yeah.
he did.
What you got any final words for the podcast? This is your first time on. We usually have like a last little whatever you want to say before we
Oh God, he's gonna say something dumb.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
he
there
did.
it is.
Oh, never
They're
mind.
cheesy.
Stay cheesy.
stay
Mm.
cheesy. All right. I like that. Seth, you got anything?
Nah. I can't.
No.
I can't. I'm just playing Final Fantasy, man. I can't think.
All right. Well, I guess all I'm gonna say is if you're looking for something to do, you should play Outer Worlds.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then
Mhm.
other than that, Final Fantasy 14 is the best MMO ever made. Blizzard can suck a dick. All right. I'll see y'all later.
Goodbye.